Good morning. My name is Robert E. Serrano III. I grew up in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. I work as the county clerk and for the county of Guadalupe, and that's based, the county seat is Santa Rosa, New Mexico. We're pretty much the records keepers of the county on anything property, marriages, um, you know, tax liens, miscellaneous documents, contracts, real estate contracts, resolutions, things like that. We're the property records of the county, and we pretty much do any other things regarding the county and anything that's within the county. We use this database called Service, which is a statewide database for voter registrations. We manage voter registrations through there. The processes that correlates with MVD. So if you go to the MVD and update your driver's license, it asks you, do you want to update your voter registration? And it might cue you to say yes. You do that, we'll get the update and we'll implement that, update your voter registration for our county. It's only for our county. We have to deal with the databases regarding our e-recordings. We do electronic transmissions of recordings for documents, property transactions from title companies, law firms, things like that. Myself and two other employees, and then a deputy. So our staff of three, we typically, we all manage the records. We're trying to update them. One thing we're working on right now is trying to get our oldest from book one, from the county's first started recording and keeping track, and they handwrote the deeds and notarized them, but they were all handwritten, to get those implemented, scanned into our system. So that's one thing that we're working on now. I'm the baby of my family. My brother never went to college. My mom never went to college. My dad never went to college. So I'm the first generation that went to college. And in high school, I had a basketball coach, and he installed a lot of good qualities of life into me regarding, not just about athletics, but the long run, what life's going to be like. No one's going to feel sorry for you in life. No one's going to, if you're having a bad day, you think, you're going to pout about it and it's not ever going to get you forward. And I didn't really take the advice as a 16, 17-year-old high schooler. What's he trying to tell me? Why is he yelling at me? Why nothing? He's never happy for anything I did, or I played the best game of my life, and he never said good job. And it kind of prepared me for the long run. Like, you might have the best day, and no one's gonna say, "Hey, you had a great day today." You need your own validation from yourself. And so I went to high school, and my senior year kind of hit me, and what am I gonna do with my life? I had an opportunity to go to New Mexico Military Institute on a scholarship. And probably the biggest mistake that I've made was leaving New Mexico Military Institute, because of the fact that I wish I would never started something and never finished it, and I didn't finish it, and that still bothers me today. And so I ended up taking a year off working construction. I worked asphalt in Carlsbad, New Mexico. I was a fit guy. I said, "Oh, I can handle it, make good money, and I'll figure out what I'm gonna do after." Well, I had to go the hard path and say, "Hey, I'm gonna do everything that I don't want to do, so I can go back to actually do something that I actually were meant to do." I guess that makes sense. I chose the hard path, and then eventually ended up to the easy path. So went to work down there. Ended up saying this isn't for me. Worked there for about 6 months, and then I ended up applying myself to the University of New Mexico. Worked two jobs. At the Frontier restaurant, I worked there, and I vacuumed offices in the night times at the student union building on campus. And I had student loans and helped me push through to get through college. So I ended up graduating with a bachelor's degree in economics and business management from the University of Mexico. And I also enlisted into the Mexico Army National Guard my junior year at University of Mexico to finish paying my school off. And then I just did another 6-year contract to pay off my student loans that I incurred while at the University of New Mexico. I moved back and I can contribute to this economy and help someone like myself who never thought college was an option, or even I'm not smart enough, or I only had a 2.0, or my parents can't afford it. Or and then I'll throw another curveball in there. I had a kid at 21 years old. So I had four things probably facing me that I can't get out and do something with my life. Then I got a phone call. I was actually at a high school basketball game watching our high school boys varsity play in the quarterfinals, and I had a missed phone call, and it was the old clerk, and he left me a voicemail to give him a call. So I gave him a call the next day, and he's like, "Can you come talk to me? I need to. Can you meet with me in my office? He in this exact office. He was sitting right here, and offered me that job. He said, "Do you want to be the chief deputy clerk?" And I said to myself, "What does the chief deputy clerk even do? What does the clerk office even do? What is that? Like, let me ask my mom. I don't even know what that means. That's how I ended up as chief deputy. And then 3 years flew by, and I said, shoot, it's already here. Um, I said to myself, well, it's worth a shot, right? If my community didn't want an individual who's educated, who has interest in the community, who has a child in the school system, who's also involved with local sports and any type of involvement it can be, then it's meant for me to move on to my next chapter of my life. And it worked out, and I was elected. I had 80% of the vote. And I just hope that, one thing that I've always wanted to do, or like be an influence on, is that we're all dealt different cards in life, but don't make it like don't make those, it's not set in concrete, those set of cards. Like, we can make changes in our life. We're in control of what we really want in our life. No one's going to baby us. No one's going to guide us. They're going to give you good advice, but it's ultimately up to us to figure it out for ourselves and what we want.